Knicks took a commanding 2-0 series lead over the Cavaliers last night behind a playoff career-high 26 points from Josh Hart. Hart took over in the third quarter, scoring 9 points during an 18-0 run as the Knicks broke open a close game, pulled away for a 109-93 win. And after the game, Hart delivered a viral quote that's worth a listen.
I'm never a huge analytics guy. At a certain point, they're a lamppost to a drunk person. You can lean on them, but it won't get you home. So at a certain point, you got to have a good feel for the game.
Oh, my God, man.
It's a great line.
Park, you're our resident analogy human
he is.
being over here. I don't know how else to word that. What did you make of Josh Hart's analogy?
I love it. I love it. I love every word, everything he spoke was the gospel. And analytics has ruined our game, has ruined a lot of organizations. Too many people, what?
Help me. I'm at a loss. I pride myself on being a relatively intelligent dude. You can lean on a drunk person? You understand? A lamppost to a drunk person, you can lean on them, but it won't get you home? Really? I understand the lamppost part. You understand? So who leaning on somebody drunk? Who is that? What? I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I'm glad, because you talking like you knew exactly what he was saying, and I'm like, I don't. Can help me out.
I think he's leaning on the lamppost.
Yes,
like that's
he's
what he
leaning
said.
on the
Like a drunk person leaning on the lamppost.
Right.
Lamppost is like a drunk person.
Yeah, but
All right, go ahead.
So I agree with Josh Hart 1,000%. Now, Jay, you talk about something that's ruined the game of basketball, analytics. Because that's how analytics keep people who never played basketball hired in the front offices. And that's what they lean on, a la Daryl Morey. That's what he leaned on. Stephen A., you remember when you alluded, when they got beaten in conference finals, I believe it was, with the Houston Rockets, he went to Tillman Fertitta with the paper and say, hey, we actually won on paper. No, you actually lost on the scoreboard. And so when you think about analytics, that also was a shot at Kenny Atkinson. Because Kenny Atkinson, after game one, after their practice, he leaned on analytics. If you look at the analytics, we have the data. James Harden is one of our best defenders. Well, my eyes tell me otherwise. The game that I'm watching tells me that James Harden was getting cooked. And so when you think about what your eyes see in the analytics, too many times we're leaning on, well, if Karl Anthony Towns is on the floor with Mikal Bridges for 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the third quarter, the analytics say that we play this much better and this much faster. What? That's what they're leaning on. Instead of actually watching and looking at the game in real time. So I agree with Josh Hart. And guess what? The analytics got the Cavs' ass kicked last night because they tried to lean on that and leave Josh Hart open. I guarantee you they leaned on the data with that one too.
Stephen A., go ahead.
But no, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay.
I think data and analytics in the right hands could be useful, depending upon how that person utilizes it. And so I agree with your comments about some of the things you said about, I think some people weaponize it. I think a lot of people that maybe haven't played the game over-rely or over-index on it. So I think organizations having the right feel or right balance of people that have played the game that say you can use data and analytics to a certain extent, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of it, you have to know basketball. Basketball is a feel type of scenario. And data and analytics can get you to a certain point, but if you don't have a feel for how the game is going, analytics can lie to you. They can lie to you. So it's what organizations have the right balance, a basketball field combined with analytics to me, and how they're utilized, KP, those are the ones that thrive. But the ones that over-index on one or the other, there has to be some type of balance, but ultimately you have to lean upon the feel of the game. Does that make sense?
I completely agree with you, Jay. Overuse. And I think to get back to Big Perk's point, it's something that's very, very important to point out about this subject matter. It has kept a lot of people employed, but it's also left a lot of basketball lifers unemployed. or reassigned and handed a lesser position. Why would that happen? It's very, very simple. Because the owners, who obviously are worth billions, what do they understand most? Numbers.
Numbers, yeah.
And so analytics
Great point.
is a language they can comprehend as opposed to instinctual basketball, verbiage and stuff like that. And as a result, that's their comfort level. But even they didn't expect somebody like Daryl Morey to come along, who would lean so much on it that even devoid of ever making a finals, let alone winning a championship, he will look at numbers and tell you that's winning.
Right.
See, that's the problem.
That
And
is the
so what happens is, what if you have an owner that adopts that mentality? Whereas, as long as I'm competitive and I'm in the mix and the numbers speak favorably towards me, and that's his definition of winning as opposed to a trophy, that's where you worry about the game and the quality of it being endangered, because something else has become a priority other than actually winning. And that's the thing. You got some owners out here. I said this before, Shay, Jay, Big Perk. I've said it on many occasions. You have some owners who'll never admit it, but their definition of winning is being in the mix. If I make a deep playoff run, but I saved money on this contract, that contract, and I made sure, you understand, that I maximized the monetary investment that I made, then I'm winning. As opposed to capturing the chip. I know that ain't Joe Lacob. I know that ain't Tillman Fertitta. I know that ain't a host of other owners in the league. But there's always some sprinkled into the mix. And that is who really, really has empowered the analytics movement and has cost a lot of people who are basketball lifers their job, and has elevated people involved in analytics that don't know a damn thing about basketball instinctually, but the numbers, they can make it look that way.
I feel like in football, we use analytics more outwardly. Like we put them up on the bottom of the screen. Like, should you go for, should you kick the extra point or should you go for two? Like we use them
special
more, like the fan
situations.
uses them more, right?
Yeah.
Like in basketball, they're used more behind the scenes. Coaches use them, et cetera.
Yes.
And then we have to be like, was this an
Deceitful.
analytics play? What was just happening here? All right, let's stay with the Knicks here. They secured their 9th straight playoff win, extending their longest streak in franchise history. They're now the 13th team in NBA history to win 9 straight games in a single playoff run of the previous 12 teams. 7 of them have gone on to win the NBA Finals. It does feel weird me talking about analytics and then making an analytical statement. Anyway.